The year was 44 BC, the place Rome, a city of grandeur where the of nations was decided. The Senate chamber, usually a stage for political maneuvering, transformed into a scene of shocking violence. The echoes of debates and decisions were replaced by the chilling silence. A group of senators, their faces a mix of grim determination and nervous sweat, surrounded Julius Caesar. These men, once his allies and friends, now stood as his executioners. This giant of a man, conqueror of Gaul, of Rome, felt the sting of blades. The very hands that once applauded his victories now turned against him. They pierced his flesh, again and again. Each stab a betrayal, each wound a testament to their fear and envy. His blood, the blood of A in their eyes, stained the pristine marble crimson. The lifeblood of Rome's leader spilled on the floor of its institution. This was no act of barbarians. These were Rome's elite, its most powerful men, driven by a desperate need to reclaim their power. This was cold, calculated murder, a meticulously planned conspiracy executed with ruthless precision. This was the Ides of March, a date that would be etched into history, a day of infamy. Caesar, once invincible, crumpled to the floor. The man who had defied the odds, who had risen from the ranks to rule Rome, now lay defeated. His lifeless eyes stared blankly at the ceiling, his ambition and dreams extinguished. The vision of a unified Rome, a Rome without civil strife, died with him. The Republic, already teetering on the brink, plunged into chaos. The streets of Rome, once bustling, now echoed with uncertainty and fear. The assassination of Julius Caesar remains one of history's most pivotal events. It was a moment that changed the course of history, a catalyst for the end of the Roman Republic. It was a turning point, a bloody exclamation mark on the Roman Republic. The death of Caesar marked the end of an era and the beginning of a new chapter in Roman history. From the ashes of this assassination, a new order would rise, the Roman Empire. An empire that would dominate the known world for centuries, its foundations built on the blood of its leader. Julius Caesar. The name itself evokes images of ambition and ruthlessness, a man who seemed to be intertwined with the Rome. But Caesar wasn't born a king. He was born into a world of uncertainty and potential. He entered this world, like any other Roman child, with dreams and fears. His family, though ancient and respected, wasn't swimming in wealth, but not among the richest. Yet, even as a young man, Caesar possessed an undeniable, a potent mix of charm and ambition. He was a natural leader, someone who could inspire loyalty. He craved power, not for power's sake, but for what it could bring, influence, and the ability to shape the world in his image. He saw power as a tool, a means to an end. Caesar's path wasn't paved with gold. It was a journey fraught with challenges and obstacles. It was a road forged in blood and iron. He faced numerous battles, both on the field and in the political arena. He honed his skills on the battlefield, proving himself a brilliant military strategist. His tactics were innovative, his leadership inspiring. His conquest of Gaul, a brutal and bloody affair, cemented his reputation as a military genius. The Gallic Wars were not just about expansion, but about demonstrating his prowess. He returned to Rome, not as a conquering hero welcomed with open arms, but as a threat. His victories made him popular among the masses, but feared by the elite. The Roman Senate, a body of powerful and often petty men, viewed Caesar's growing popularity with suspicion. They were wary of his intentions and the loyalty he commanded. They saw him correctly as a danger to their own power. They knew that Caesar's ambition and that he would stop at nothing to achieve his goals. They would soon learn the true extent of his ambition. Caesar was not just a man of words, but of action. His vision for Rome was grand, and he was willing to challenge the very foundations of the Republic to realize it. The Roman Republic, for all its achievements, was showing its age. What began as an experiment in self-government had become a system riddled with corruption and inefficiency. The ruling elite, more concerned with personal gain than the welfare of Rome, squabbled amongst themselves. Political violence, once rare, became commonplace. The people, tired of many wars and economic hardship, yearned for a strong leader, someone who could restore order and prosperity. Into this volatile mix stepped Julius Caesar. His military victories had made him a hero to the common people. His promises of reform, of land redistribution, and economic relief resonated with the masses. The Senate, fearing Caesar's growing power, demanded he disband his legions and return to Rome as a private citizen. Caesar refused. He knew that stepping foot in Rome without the protection of his army was suicide. Civil war, a tragedy Rome had long avoided, became inevitable. The plot thickens. Whispers of conspiracy. In the dimly lit corners of the Roman Senate, whispers of discontent grew louder. The air was thick with tension, as shadowy figures exchanged furtive glances and hushed conversations. Caesar's crossing of the Rubicon, the river marking the boundary between Italy and Gaul, was a declaration of war. This bold move was not just a physical crossing, but a symbolic act of defiance against the Senate's authority. The ensuing conflict, though brief, shattered what little remained of Roman unity. The battlefield bore witness to the devastating consequences of civil strife, with broken shields and weapons scattered like fallen leaves. Caesar's forces, disciplined and fiercely loyal, swept aside all opposition. Their unwavering dedication to their leader was evident in their every move as they marched in perfect formation, ready to face any challenge. The Senate's armies, plagued by incompetence and poor leadership, crumbled before Caesar's might. The once proud legions of Rome found themselves in disarray, their morale shattered and their ranks thinning. Rome, once the proud mistress of the world, she lost it to her winner. The city, with its grand architecture and bustling streets, now seemed eerily silent, a shadow. Caesar, now ruler of Rome, showed surprising restraint. Instead of exacting revenge, he sought to rebuild and restore the city, addressing the Senate with a vision for a united Rome. He pardoned many of his former enemies, hoping to heal the divisions tearing Rome apart. This act of clemency was a strategic move aimed at fostering loyalty and reducing the risk of further rebellion. He initiated a series of ambitious reforms, tackling everything from debt relief to calendar reform. These changes were designed to stabilize the economy, improve public welfare, and streamline governance. He seemed poised to usher in a new era of peace and prosperity. The markets thrived, and the citizens, once weary of war, began to hope for a brighter future under Caesar's rule. But beneath the surface of this newfound stability, resentment simmered. The Senate, stripped of its power and influence, could not easily forget or forgive. The senators, stripped of their power, whispered in the shadows. Their conversations were filled with bitterness and a desire to reclaim their lost authority. They plotted and schemed, their hatred for Caesar festering like an open wound. Each secret meeting added fuel to the fire of their conspiracy as they sought allies and devised plans. They feared his ambition, his popularity, his very existence. To them, Caesar was not just a leader, but a threat to the republic itself, a symbol of unchecked power. They convinced themselves that Caesar, this champion of the people, this self-proclaimed dictator for life, had to be stopped. Their resolve hardened, and the whispers of conspiracy grew into a chorus of dissent, setting the stage for one of history's most infamous betrayals. Et tu, Brute, the assassination of Caesar. The Ides of March, the 15th of March on the Roman calendar, dawned like any other day. Caesar, ignoring the warnings and the pleas of his wife, went about his business. He had received a message, a plea from the senators to appear before them. They claimed to be ready to offer him a new honor, a new title Rex, Latin for king. Caesar, surrounded by his loyal followers, entered the Senate chamber. He was unaware that he was walking into a trap, a carefully orchestrated assassination plot. As Caesar stood before the Senate, Julius Caesar, one of the conspirators, approached him, feigning a plea for clemency for his exiled brother. Caesar, distracted, waved him away. This was the signal. Casca, another senator, lunged forward, his dagger finding its mark in Caesar's neck. Startled, Caesar cried out. Then, like a pack of wolves descending upon their prey, the other senators attacked.